How's it going, everyone? It's Adam Corcoran with another episode of 3 at 3. Today, we have founder of Balance University, Chris Williams. Chris, how are you doing?
Great. Excited to be here, Adam.
Chris, you and I have known each other for quite some time, and I can tell you I am super excited of all of your accomplishments. I mean, every couple months, I love just tuning in with you and just learning more about everything that you're bringing to the forefront and helping our senior population with balance issues. So grateful for you to be with 3 at 3. Why don't you just introduce yourself so our guests have a little bit of context about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Chris Williams, and as Adam was saying, I'm the founder and creator of Balance University. My parent company is Emeritus Health, and I try to keep things a little loose and a little funky because balance is not the most interesting topic. And so when you make it a little bit fun, people tend to pay a little more attention to you, especially those that fall or are at risk of falling. What ends up happening is they start to see some of their independence and even more so some of that mortality, depending on the significance of the fall, start to slip away. So if I can capture their attention a little bit for being a little, light about it in the beginning, I think that's great. So with Balance University, we've done a 10-week program where we focus on the 4 pillars or the 4 components of balance. That's going to be strength, posture, flexibility, and of course, balance. And those are the things we can control on the outside of the body. There's a lot of things that go on internally that you would want to see, like the vestibular system, your ear doctor, your eye doctor, ophthalmologist, things of that nature. But we focus on the physical aspect of it.
Sure. And, we rewind, a couple years. You introduced a book, for your balance program, which I love it. I myself have a copy, and it's super encouraging. Actually, I don't even think I told you this. I visited a client of mine last week, and kid you not, that book was right on their coffee table.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it wasn't a direct referral. It was just people are using your program.
That's awesome.
So I kind of engaged with them a little bit more. I said, "Oh, is this for your husband?" She's like, "No, it's for me." And I'm like, "Good for you." She was taking a proactive approach at ensuring her safety.
Awesome.
So can you give me some context on why balance? Chris wakes up in the morning. Why balance? What gets you going about balance, and why did you start this?
So fast, quick story. Working as a personal trainer, I went to school and studied dietetics, and transitioning as an athlete to personal training was super easy. I worked in the electrical field. I was an apprentice electrician. And then when the economy fell, we went through the Great Recession. I jumped back into the medical field, working at a local gym. It was a corporate gym, and I had a client who's a geriatric physician. His name was Dr. Obador Khan. He approached me one day and he said, "Chris, I have patients that physically cannot get here but need load-bearing exercise. Can you work with them? You would have to go to their home." And of course, being the father of 4, I said, "Absolutely. As long as they can write their name on that check, I'll be there," and desperate times, So we started, and I ran into one particular client. His name was Mr. Wolf. He and I became quick friends. He was captain of a minesweeper, which is made of wood, very light. Great stories about that. Also an attorney in Wisconsin. Super nice guy. Yeah, and just won me over quickly. Endeared my son to him. At the time, my son was young and not in school. Sometimes he had to go to work with dad. And I got a phone call. I tend to work in the same geographical area every day. And I got a phone call. This appointment was next on my list. And I show up, and he had taken a fall. His home healthcare worker had called me because she knew I was like 5 minutes away. So we get there. And anyway, long story short, about 16 months later, he passed away. And all of these issues that had happened in those 16 months can be accounted and attributed to this fall that he had. And so I went on a search looking for curriculum that I could take and learn to include in what I was doing, because as I was working with Dr. Khan's patients, I found balance is such a huge issue. Going through my research after Mr. Wolf had passed, I found statistics, and holy smokes, every 11 seconds, a senior is treated in the ER for a fall-related injury.
Right.
80% of falls occur in the home. So I'm thinking, how can I impact it? And what I found was that the entry point to a lot of these programs that you would do in physical therapy, which are great, but you have someone there. And a lot of times people, when they need to start, there's no one there. And so I wanted a program that people could do by themselves at home with no equipment if they didn't have any, and it would be effective. Science-based movements that was effective and could improve your balance, where we work on the neuromuscular efficiency, the brain connecting to the mechanoreceptors in the bottom of our feet. So over the 3-year period, I worked with physical therapists and physicians and nurse practitioners, CEOs of hospitals, and we came up with Balance University. And I got a great big announcement. This may send your journalism career in a whole new direction, Adam. I got an announcement for you. It's an exclusive.
I love it.
We have the revision of Balance University that'll be coming out here at the end of the month. So it's going to be a lot of changes. Exercises will be the same, but the information that you will get will be revised and up to date, and a lot great new graphics, great images, and great descriptions on exercises.
Cool. And that kind of segues to some of the other new, endeavors for you, because you just recently came out with the Balance University app that's compatible with iOS, your iPhone, and your Android, your iPads. I mean, I think that's super innovative. And to your point, kudos to you, because you've taken this opportunity of, adapting to the new technology shift, right? A lot more people are on Zoom. They're tuning in to Facebook for education. A couple clicks of an app link, and right there you have the curriculum. I mean, I think, what could you ask for more?
Well, to make it simple, as we were talking earlier, this pandemic, the situation has forced people online with closures of stores and people wanting to be healthy and be safe, and so it's forced people to order groceries online, to see their doctors online. And I think as people have been forced to do it, some have embraced it. Others, once they've done it, realized, hey, this online stuff isn't that bad.
No.
Yeah, I told my wife, I said, look, I think we need to put Balance University. I think it's time to put it in the app. And I don't know if you can see it right there. You sure can. The Balance University app's a bit blurry, but you can go on there and you click on it. And this is going to give you all types of great information, statistics, checklists, things that you can go through in your own home, things you can bring to your physician and say, hey, listen, I found this checklist. I may be at risk for falling. It's also going to give you the 3 weeks of Balance University for free. And so once you complete those 3 weeks, for $2.99, you can get the remaining 7 weeks.
Wow.
And try to make it as easy as possible for folks to do from home and to access this fall prevention information.
Right. So they elect into this 10-week program and they need a little bit more support. Are you available for consultation? Can they reach out to you to hire you to kind of do more hands-on? How does that look?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always available. Right now, we're doing online classes through the Renaissance Academy online at FGCU, and you can get that information at mybalanceuniversity.com. You see it on the ticker there going across. But any questions anyone has, I have people email me all the time about things that may be particular to them. And so my goal is to prevent falls as best as I can. So I would encourage anyone that has any questions, just give me a call, email me at emeritushealth@yahoo.com, or you can text me or give me a phone call. but I am a here to help. I'm here to be someone that can be a cog in your health and active lifestyle wheel.
Is that right there? emeritushealth@yahoo.com.
It's beautiful. You got it.
Good. Cool. Well, my other question, I want to just kind of, and I misspoke. Okay, I said our aging population, our senior market, and that's not necessarily fair, right?
Yeah.
So, who would you say is your ideal client? Because it doesn't have to be someone who's a senior citizen, right?
No, I've worked with people as young as 35, with particular injuries to the hearing, vision injuries. My ideal client is someone who is at jeopardy of losing their independence or having a significant fall. And we define significant by a broken bone. Doesn't matter what the age, there's no age restrictions on that. And so what generally happens, Adam, unfortunately, is most people do not start taking their balance seriously until themselves or a loved one has fallen and spent some time in an emergency room or worse, in a hospital. And I just did an interview with Dr. Khan, and we were talking about falls and significant falls and what the mortality rate is. And I said, well, generally, how often do you see folks pass away? Is it a year or 2 years? He says, no, it's 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
And that shocked me. And so with that in mind, I would encourage folks to try one assessment for me. All right. And I want everyone to be super safe, but this is how we're going to get an idea, at least on the physical side. Remember, balance is all multiple components, but at least let's see on the physical side where you're at. Try to stand on one foot for 15 seconds. Now, stay close to a counter, something immovable, not a chair with casters, not your office chair. Find something that's not going to move. And what you're going to do is, let's say we're going to stand on our right foot. You're going to shift your weight to the right leg. You're going to lift your heel of your left foot off the ground. Get your bearings. For some folks, this is tough. For some, it's not. And then go ahead while you're holding on. You're still holding on. You're going to lift your left foot in the air. Get your bearings. If you can, raise your hand off the table or the counter or whatever the case may be. If you need to, you can use 1 or 2 fingers and count to 15. How many times do you need to touch the counter or put your foot down in 15 seconds? If it's 3 or more, we may need to start doing some balance work for sure. And that's what we find.
And that's a super, simple assessment to even just identify, do I have balance issues? And that actually leads me to my last question. Are there any other signs that people start to see other than your, typical fall? I think of a fall, I think that's already crisis, right?
Right.
If we're talking about that level of imbalance, are there any, early signs of imbalance that people can start saying, maybe I need to go through this assessment. Maybe I need to reach out for Balance University?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first thing is make sure you have your vision checked every year. Make sure you have your hearing checked every year. Now, when we get to the physical side of it, how difficult is it for you to get out of your couch? Is it something where you just get your nose over your toes and you shoot right up? Or are we doing the rocking move? Or are we having someone help us? What I'm getting at is leg strength. All right. I want to make sure we have good, strong legs and core. And I think a quick, easy sign that is very common is a lack of leg strength that we see in folks as they get older, because as we age, let's face it, we move up the corporate ladder. We tend to sit a little more, walk a little less, get a little less active, and we tend to lose, and those muscles atrophy, aside from the losing testosterone and the ability to build lean muscle tissue. So I would say leg strength, Adam, for sure.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. Well, I encourage everyone to, check out mybalanceuniversity.com. Call Chris with any questions. And don't forget check out the book, get the app. Go all in. My biggest thing is we all know someone, right, who's who's fallen, who has had fall risk, or has some sort of imbalance. The statistics here in Southwest Florida are alarming.
Yes.
And you even, shined some insight on the risks. I mean, one hip fracture is putting a lot of people in really difficult situations. So don't wait for that crisis to occur. Reach out to Balance University today, because the reality is you want to be proactive. You want to be preventative. And that's really what it comes down to. And so my ask from everyone who's watching is, if you do know someone or a family member that has someone that is at risk of falls or any imbalance, please share, like this post, share it on your page, post it on your community board. I mean, this is a real issue, and without people like Chris, and in collaboration with Golden Care, and just for reference, Chris, is our balance trainer. We had a super great course just not too long ago, where our employees came in. They worked with Chris on a couple week, I think it was 3-week program.
Yep.
And I mean, those caregivers, they want that knowledge, right? Our staff wants that knowledge to be able to implement those things into their day-to-day practice to keep their clients safe. So I can't thank you enough. The stuff that you're doing is extremely innovative. And honestly, when I think of purpose and why do we get up every morning? You're making it happen, my man. So I love it. All good stuff.
Well, thank you very much. And check is in the mail for saying all those nice things. I'll make sure it doesn't bounce.
Very funny. All right. Well, if anyone wants any more information, reach out to Chris. Thank you again for joining us at 3 at 3. I hope everyone has a great afternoon. Talk soon. Bye.